Okay, this is John Slane and Matt Wolfson, and we did our project on the internet filter bubble. Just a quick overview, we're going to go over an introduction to what the filter bubble is, some related research that we did, an experiment that we ran. We're going to do a quick demo of what we did for the experiment, and then we will take questions. So John is going to kick it off first.
This is just some background about the filter bubble, so what the filter bubble is a little bit, and if you want more detail, you can find that in the paper. What the filter bubble is according to Eli Parser, there's a quote saying, if you aren't paying for it, you are the product. Basically, the filter bubble is this idea that websites on the internet collect information that you share for free, when you pay bank statements, what your address is, various things like that, what books you enjoy, what music you like, and they will use that to pick and choose what you see when you go to search engines, what gets displayed on your Facebook page, and therefore you have a filter created around you that you are unaware of as a user, and that kind of defines what you get to see on the internet. On a larger scale, we have the idea of censorship, which you can see in this concept Doppler, a weather tracker for internet censorship, which looks at what words specifically are censored in China. Censorship is kind of another aspect of the filter bubble on a larger scale, and this is important because we can see specifically what gets censored, and we can start to see how the filter bubble takes shape. And finally, Facebook's new con, pay to have your posts seen. This is an example of the filter bubble in use today through Facebook's EdgeNet algorithms, which are the series of algorithms that Facebook uses to choose what goes onto each user's timeline when they go and look, or each user's wall when they go to look at their Facebook page during the day. We don't know what that algorithm has, how it chooses, only Facebook knows that, so we don't know exactly what filter we're looking through. So now Matt Wolfson is going to go into the experiment that we've run to look at censorship on a more international scale.
Thanks, John. This is Matt coming all the way from sunny Florida, and I'm here to talk about the experiment that we ran, because obviously we wanted to investigate the filter bubbles ourselves. So we ran a little experiment, and we wanted to look at the information that one can receive versus your geographic location. So essentially, how you're doing searches at different geographic locations can affect what information is available. And we were curious and focused on the issue of censorship. So we actually did our searches with controversial terms, things that people have radically different opinions on, or news articles, large news articles from the past year to do our searches. So what we did, we created a list of 20 controversial terms, like I just talked about, and we also created a list of 15 countries from across the world that have very diverse ethnic, cultural, and religious backgrounds to get a good sampling of types of countries, I guess. And then we went and searched and investigated the differences when you searched those controversial terms in Google from the different geographic locations. So our methodology, we utilized a software called Rank Tracker, which was initially created so that companies could monitor their website's rank when you search it on particular search engines. And we used the Google search engine because it was the only one that was available in all of the countries that we had selected. So to get an objective number for each country, so that we weren't just making observations on everything, we used the US Google search for each term as a base. Essentially, we went to Google for US, searched the search term, and picked one of the top websites that was a US from the US search, and used that as a base website. Then what we did, we went to the rank tracker software and simulated a search from the 15 different countries, and for the website we searched the search term and found where the base website ranked when searched in that country, so that we could assign an objective number for each search term and country pair. Now our assumption is that if the base website was in the top 5 hits for a country, then more or less you're getting the similar information or the same information. And when the base website was not in the top 5 hits, we did a manual search for that country and then kind of made observations on what the differences were between the two geographic locations. So now we're going to do a quick demo of kind of the steps that I would run through when doing all this. So first of all, we would have to get the base website. So we go to just regular google.com and do a search. Now when we're doing this search in the US, we append the search with the Google location or geographic location as the US, and that eliminates any filter bubbles that I myself may have put on the Google search engine. It just creates a general search as if it were in the US. And then we search the search term. In this case it was Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. And then we would pick one of the top websites. In this case, we picked the eng.kremlin.ru, and that is our base website. From there, we went to the rank tracker software, and we simulated the Vladimir Putin search in all of these different countries that you can see all the Google searches there. And then again, the number is where the eng.kremlin.ru, that's the number that it ranks when you search it in Google in that country. As you can see, there are a few that it doesn't show up essentially anywhere in the top 100 hits in that country. So in those kind of cases, we would go and do a manual search for that country to find out what the differences were and why the discrepancy. So take, for example, google.ru. This is the Russia search. And we would go to google.ru and search Vladimir Putin. And as you can see, all of the websites are returned in Russian in .ru websites, all of them. So we make an observation. We go and record the data in an Excel spreadsheet and make an observation that all of the sites for that search term are in Russian. And this is an oddity because all of the other searches at the google.ru at the Russian search term are in English. So this may lead to some kind of observation, some kind of results based on when we do that manual search term. So that's a demo, and we did that for the 20 search terms across all 15 countries. And just a little snapshot of the results. For the majority, you received the same information no matter where you did the search from. However, we did find a handful of anomalies. For example, the Vladimir Putin search that I just talked about, actually Mexico and Russia only returned websites in their native language, which without translation we can't be certain that they're saying different things than the US websites, but it does kind of raise a flag because that was the only search where either country, Mexico or Russia, returned results in a different language. Also, when Edward Snowden was searched in Germany, kind of the same case where only websites and news articles in German appeared. The search term Christianity, when searched in the United Kingdom, it only returned websites that were UK based, and the first US based website was way down in the 30s of ranking. So it kind of points to, in some cases, countries wanting or sending out different information on these topics. And the last one that we found was the South Korean ferry capsizing, which is a recent news event. And in several countries, at least 5 or 6, the base website was a Yahoo News article. And in those 5 or 6 countries, the Yahoo News article did not appear anywhere in the search results, which may point to a lack of dependency on Yahoo itself for news information, which may, in some cases, they may not be getting the same news as other countries. So, in conclusion, it may point to these anomalies may point to certain types of information that are filtered or censored by other countries. Now, I know we are presenting virtually and we can't take questions live, but if you have any questions on our experiment or the research that we've done, please feel free to look us up on Piazza or the Georgia Tech website, or email us at our Georgia Tech emails. And that wraps everything up. Thank you very much.